So this week was a huge week for Shiba Inu. In fact, I still see some naysayers when it comes to Shib, but they don't realize that Shib was actually the best performer in the top 100 coins over the last week. That is very significant. And something is kind of taking place over the last 24 hours that I think we need to discuss. Obviously, as a market, we're cooling down right now, and I kind of want to talk about, what we may see, and is this something that right now is sustainable in terms of SHIB? I'm Luckside. Welcome to the channel. If you guys haven't, if you're new, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell. Again, it's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So over the last 24 hours, we've cooled off just a little bit, which I'll get to here. And SHIB is dropping back below 402. And that means that we've dropped from this number one spot in the top 100 down to number two. Ugh, terrible, right? But a 36.8% increase just over the last week alone. That is very, very large for a coin that you can see is the largest market cap by a long shot, $11.6 billion. And frankly, almost on the verge of climbing back into the top 10, which is a very, very exciting spot for Shiba Inu to be. Now, obviously, over the last 24 hours here, we've cooled off just a little bit. We spiked all the way up to 40216, which was a very strong move. And then SHIB is retraced back down below 4020. And there's a big reason why this is taking place. So we actually saw a big surge in large holder inflows, all right, to the tune of 924%. So basically these large holders, whales, speculators, they got very active again. And you guys can see that, for example, we had significant surges in activity just over the last couple days here. Now, unfortunately, this resulted in a negative net flow yesterday to the tune of 165 billion SHIB. That's why you're seeing some of this retracement, because we saw some profit taking. Go figure. There's always going to be speculators that step in and do some buying and try to take advantage of quick movements in the market. When SHIB is doing, 10, 20% a day, it's not surprising that they did this. Now, again, on the 26th, for example, you saw 180 billion SHIB in net flows to the positive side. Following day, 165 billion in outflows. So there was people just kind of playing the game and taking profits. And we saw this throughout the space. There was, in fact, some profit taking throughout the market. It's not surprising at all. That's the reason why we're cooling off just a little bit, because BTC's run got a bit stifled. We got into some of our short liquidations, which was awesome. But right now, because there's no institutional buying today, because the weekends tend to be kind of tempered anyways, and Fridays in general just kind of suck. Even though Friday was green, that's good, but they tend to be kind of on the lower side in terms of volume and activity. Now we're kind of in this period where over the course of the weekend, things may be kind of quiet. I talked about this earlier in my ADA video. Would not surprise me if we deal with a little bit of chop over these next few days as we approach what could be a huge breakout moment for the market starting in October. Now, this isn't a guarantee. This isn't financial advice. And frankly, up in these ranges, it may look like SHIB is kind of floating in no man's land, but we do have some support right up in these ranges. In fact, you guys can see that right about at 4019, we have some support. It's not a huge level. All right. We kind of are in this big gap above 4020 all the way up to 4023, I believe it was. That's kind of where we have this big gap in liquidity. All right. And price can very easily cut through these ranges. We're at a pivotal moment right now where, again, we're trying to emerge from this break box and hold this. This is the point that I talked about where this could be that rocket zone to the next layer of liquidity here. We haven't had that push from the market yet, right? Again, waiting to see how much demand there is to hold up these prices, because this is obviously a very strong move for Shiba Inu. So as we get into this next week, we're going to find out whether this big push in the market is in fact sustainable or not. It would not surprise me if it is. As long as people are resilient, as long as people are buying to hold for the long term, then we have enough to really move to the upside. Okay. Now, nobody knows what's going to happen. Nobody knows what people's mindsets are. And this is a big reason why, for example, I don't chase green candles. I never have. I never will, because guess what? That's how you get caught, right? That's why I don't buy at all-time highs. That's why I buy when there's huge opportunities in the market. And in fact, when we talk about something like Shiba Inu, there was opportunities all throughout here to accumulate. Again, if you guys want to check out my indicator, there's a referral link in the description below. Again, there's a 7-day free trial on it. And you guys can see it's identified some great buy zones. In fact, it identified the sell zone up here. Me personally, still have not sold, still have not closed my long position in terms of Shiba Inu, just to kind of show you guys where that was at. I saw a point yesterday, it was like 300 and some % profit. I can't complain about that, right? If you guys are interested in using Margex, there is a link in the description below for that as well. Again, you can earn up to $10,000 in deposit and trading bonuses. There's no KYC. So right now we're kind of waiting. Okay. We have periods of cool off. It's not always straight up and to the right. We haven't seen, and I'll talk about this in an ADA video coming later. We haven't seen that big burst in capital quite yet, that big burst in users quite yet, but the formations are playing out to where we're prepped for that to happen. We've seen this play out several times during this market cycle, and there's going to be a point where this send takes place. I appreciate you guys as always. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts. Do you think we get into a good week next week? Do you think these prices are sustainable? Have a great day. Show your love below. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.